This is Michael Slack filling in for Rick Party. This is Rick Party's Notebook, news from around the world and in our communities from Michael Slack's perspective. So congressional leaders have finally agreed on a $900 billion rescue package to help Americans during these unprecedented times. It is unacceptable for it to take almost 9 months for lawmakers to agree on a desperately needed Rescue America Part 2. This is far more than a stimulus measure. Businesses, individuals, and institutions need help and have needed it for a long time. And it still won't be enough for many of whom have already been evicted or are losing or have lost their unemployment benefits or their businesses or their homes due to a virus that was downplayed and allowed to run rampant by the president and many of his followers who wanted business to continue as usual without wearing a mask, counting those killed or disabled by COVID-19 as simply expendable or just casualties, claiming the deaths of only a fraction of 1% of those infected is acceptable. This is a president who was impeached for obstructing Congress and abusing power, accused of interfering with the investigation into the Russian interference in the 2016 election. Trump is a president who has fired or has tried to fire those investigating or questioning him. A president who has pardoned those who were found guilty of crimes where they tried to or did help the president or those connected to him. This is a president who has told more lies on TV and Twitter than one can count. A president who has openly invited foreign governments to spy on the campaigns of his opponents and has befriended Vladimir Putin while alienating some of our most friendly foreign allies. He even downplayed what could be the most dangerous hack attacks against our government by the Russians. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But this is a president who has allowed and even encouraged racist and radical groups to come forward. A president who has tried to overturn the 2020 election repeatedly and has been linked to talk of implementing martial law and denying Americans their legitimate vote to replace him with Joe Biden. My friends, there has been talk among radical Republicans of a real insurrection, a civil war, talk of overthrowing our elected government. This is a president who is desperately trying to stay in office, maybe to save himself from what could be the first time in American history where the outgoing president of the United States is led out of the White House in handcuffs. This is Michael Slack, and that's all I have to add to Rick Party's Notebook. News from around the world and in our communities from my perspective.